Hello, welcome back. My name is Michaela. I'm a second year 5th grade teacher in Wisconsin, and I thought it would be kind of fun to make a video answering some questions like teacher FAQs on like Quora or some subreddits, and I'm gonna see how many Oreos I can eat in one sitting without getting sick of them at the same time. So if you're interested in that, you should stick around. So you might be thinking, why the heck are you gonna eat a bunch of Oreos? Well, it was one of my students' birthdays today, and he left an entire stack of Oreos on my desk, and I was like, I definitely can't eat all of those. But then I was like, what if I did eat them all? So that's how this idea came to be. That's it. He also left an entire package of Oreos on my desk, and I thought he said he was gonna give them to me, but I'm not 100% sure. So if I can eat this stack that's already out of the package, I might take a few from this and see. But I have a feeling that I am gonna get sick before I finish this stack. But yeah, I'll probably give him this package back tomorrow because I'm not gonna eat all those Oreos. And to go along with this, I do have a Diet Dr. Pepper. So I'm gonna crack open a cold one here and get started. So for context, my stomach already does not feel good. I've had maybe 4 Diet Dr. Peppers already today. And last night I had a Shirley Temple, which is like super sweet. Why did I have one of those? Don't ask, okay? Someone had one and it just sounded good. I also feel really sweaty. It's a little hot in here. I haven't drank any water today, and I had hot dogs for lunch. I think you should put your bets in now on how many Oreos I'm gonna be able to eat before I'm done, because I don't want to throw up. Though I will say, if I do, I will show you. So, another thing to look forward to. I'm gonna start with one. I've never had these golden Oreos before, so I'm gonna start with that. And I'm gonna start with my first question. Literally the first question on the Ask Teachers subreddit is, why is every classroom so cold? Which I just told you I am super sweaty because it's really hot in here. So I don't know. Actually, in the mornings when I come to school, it is very cold. And I think it's just because there are like a million people in a building, and especially with like kids who are starting to go through, changes in life, they get a little stinky and a little sweaty. So I'm sure the powers that be are like, we don't want our schools to smell like butt all the time. As much as we can possibly prevent that from happening, let's lower the temperature so at least they're not sweating and leaving their slimy goo everywhere. That's what I would assume. I kind of like these more than the regular Oreos. Also, speaking of like it being cold in classrooms, I'm gonna whisper this because it's like a secret, and I really don't think this teacher is gonna watch this, but I'm like kind of nervous that she's somehow gonna see it. But I had a teacher call me after school to like tell me that some of my students have been going to her room like wearing a hat or wearing their coat, and how in middle school, that's not gonna be okay, and so they need to learn now. And I think it is a rule at school, but like I don't enforce it. I do not understand why my students can't wear hats or a jacket in the room. Like, I could wear a hat or I could wear a jacket if I wanted to, if I was cold. So like, it's cold and like they should wear what they want to wear. So I don't know if I'm gonna get fired because I don't enforce that, but I'm gonna have a conversation with them tomorrow about how, yeah, I allow it, but when we leave the room, we gotta, follow the rules. Teachers, do you intentionally pair certain students together in seating charts? I mean, obviously, like I'm making a seating chart for a reason. I've seen middle school or high school teachers online say that when they notice like students starting to like each other or have crushes on each other, they'll put them together. I don't do that because they probably won't shut up. Like when I make my seating charts, I try to make it very intentional about like 1, who's gonna work together well, 2, who's not gonna piss each other off, 3, who is not gonna talk to each other. And so I tend to not put like people together that I know are just gonna talk and not listen to me. At this point, where I'm at currently in the classroom, that doesn't matter because it's like no matter where I put them, they're just gonna not shut up. So maybe I should start putting people together that I think are gonna talk, and then maybe they will surprise me and like not talk. I don't know. This next one kind of makes me want to cry. It's directed to high school teachers. Obviously, I'm not a high school teacher. How would you feel about being contacted by a previous student? That is the only thing I want in my entire life. If I never got married, if I never had my own kids, if I never got a house or my like owned a car or an award, I don't know, any of the big things in life, if I never got those, but my students contacted me and kept in touch with me, and when they graduated, they like reached out to me and sent me a letter like, hey, let's get coffee, or invited me to stuff. That's all I would want in the world. I would give up all those other things, just to have my previous students contact me, because it's only my second year teaching. But last year, I literally could not stop crying for 2 hours after my kids left on the last day of school. Like heaving, sobbing for 2 hours straight. Like every liquid in my body was gone. Like I did not pee for a week because I cried it all out. Obviously that last part is a joke, but I took down my entire classroom just sobbing into everything, because it's like I will never see them again. Probably. 5th grade, they're going to a different building or they are going to a different district. And for the most part, like, they're not gonna reach out to me. And that makes me sadder than like anything in the world, because my students are like some of my favorite people in the world. And you spend almost every single day with them, 9 months out of the year, 8 hours a day, then all of a sudden it's gone. Like, bye. So yes, how would I feel about that? It would literally make my life, and I want every single student to keep up with me and talk to me and email me and just stay a part of my life. I know that that is unlikely, and obviously most students aren't going to do that, but I do have students from last year who do email me every once in a while, and they're usually just like, "Hi, Miss Brown, I hope your day is going well," or "Hey, I miss you," or whatever. But even just that is like, it makes my day every time. Okay, I had one Oreo already. Here's my second Oreo. I actually kind of feel like these Oreos are making my stomach feel better. I might like eat this whole package, because I have a thing about challenges. Like if someone challenges me to something, I want to do it. Like I want to win. I know I challenged myself to this and nobody challenged me to this, but that's enough. That's enough for me. Though I do know that my idea of beating a challenge is I usually overestimate what I can do. In high school, we did a donut eating competition between me and like my 3 best friends, and we literally like talked to everyone in the school. We had a really small school, but we talked to everyone in the school, and like everyone made bets on like who was gonna win, and I convinced everyone that I was gonna win. And then I ate like 3 of the dozen donuts maybe before I was like, I can't do this anymore. I had 2. We'll see how many more I can do. Speaking of high school, again, are young teachers often mistaken for high school students? I don't really deal with this problem at school, because I work in an elementary school, so people don't usually mistake me for one of my students, and like we don't have high school students at our school, so like, but I will say that outside of work, outside of being at school, people mistake me for being in high school. I don't know why. I feel like I am like old enough that I have like wrinkles and stuff, right? Like people should know that I'm older. I'm 30 years old, but I don't know if it was the beginning of this year, we had like a new teacher, and I was taking my kids to her class. She was like, "Oh my gosh, like I thought you were one of them." And I was like, "What? I'm 5'7", and I look like this." Like I had longer hair too at that time. I was just like, haha, okay. Nope, I'm the teacher. Like, mistaking me for a 5th grader? Are you kidding me? They're 10 years old. They are 20 years younger than I am. I just finished my 3rd Oreo. All right, so this is number 4. I'm feeling great. What is something a student did to make you like them? First of all, I like all my students. They come in, I already love them so much, and I care about them so much. Obviously, there are kids you connect with more than others, but every single kid, I like them, I care about them. But I'm sure every teacher has different kids that they connect with more uniquely. And I guess for me, I really like kids with like a bigger personality that maybe a lot of teachers wouldn't always like them, because maybe they're disruptive or say things that probably wouldn't fly, but they're funny and they have energy, and you can like get to know their personality right away. I love kids that you can joke around with and laugh with, and I really like kids who want to grow and want to get better. Whether that is the fact that they take their own learning, like literally the academics, and they just want to do a really good job and they want a challenge, and even if they aren't awesome at what they're doing, like they want to do better and they put the effort into it. And so like for me, I really love being able to feel people's feelings, like where they're at, and then like help encourage them to like become better, and then like celebrate with them. Kids who want to do that get my whole heart. And kids who want to do that in anything, it could be academics, but it could also just be like they want to be a good leader and they want to be an example for people. Like I love leaders who want to learn how to help people. And they will step into the hard situations and the tension of like being a leader, because it's like, it's not fun all the time. Your friends might not always like you if you're trying to like do the right thing and actually help them, but you do it anyway. I have a big heart for those kids. I feel like we connect really well. The other type of student that I tend to really connect with, or like my heart just feels for them and I just like really care about them, are the kids who like struggle with stuff and like there's a lot of emotion, but we can like talk about it and work through it. And that's something that I've had in the past, like kids who are just like, they have issues, you know? We all have issues, but they also have issues and they're kind of tough to deal with, but they will open up and they will share with you. Those kids are my heart, my heart. Again, I love all of my students. I like all of them. I love hanging out with all of them anytime, but those are probably the ones that I connect with really well or really easily. But yeah, I don't know if actually that answered the question. I said, what did a student do to make you like them? I guess share with me their feelings, their thoughts, being super open about who they are as a person, and then being really open to growing and challenging themselves. Those are the things I really like. I just read one and the title is just, "Why is school so weird?" So I read more of the post and they said, why do some teachers not let kids go to the toilet? To not allow someone to pee is insane. It's illegal in the workplace. So why do they do it? Why did we have to have white socks and not black or gray? Like literally why? What does that gain? Why did badly behaved kids always get more academic help than the well-behaved kids? Why do PE teachers not let kids wear a jumper outside in the winter? I thought this was going to be a more relevant question to me, but then I started reading more and it was like, a lot of that doesn't actually apply to me. I can answer the one about not letting kids go to the bathroom. I try to say yes. Like most of the time I will say yes, unless it becomes an issue, because you know the students who are using that as an opportunity to get out of whatever it is that you're doing. You can see a pattern when it starts to happen. Also, like the amount of time they're in the bathroom. Obviously, if a kid is not even going to the bathroom, when they say they're going to the bathroom, that becomes like a conversation. So I try to say yes, because when I was in high school, one of my teachers didn't let me go to the bathroom and I literally almost peed my pants. It hurt so bad and I cried in my chair and he still would not let me go to the bathroom. Let kids go to the bathroom if they actually have to go to the bathroom. At the beginning of the year, I try to just tell kids, if it's an emergency, you can go, you know, during a lesson. I would prefer not, because then you're missing what we're actually doing. But at this point in the year, I've just been saying yes. Like, I don't even want to have a conversation about it. Just like go. And then if it becomes an issue, then we're gonna have a conversation. The rest of the things in this post, like my kids don't have to wear white socks. I don't think that I give the badly behaved kids more academic help than the well-behaved kids. And I don't know why your gym teacher is not letting you wear, I'm assuming a jumper is like a coat or a sweater in the winter. We live in Wisconsin, so I don't think that would fly here. Cookie number 5. But I will say, why is school so weird in general? Like weird rules and stuff. I think there are a lot of weird old-fashioned rules that I am just, like I was talking earlier, like not wearing a hat or not wearing a jacket or not being able to chew gum. All this stuff where it's like, I get why those rules are in place, but they also don't seem needed to me, because if you're gonna be responsible with your hat or your jacket or your gum, then I don't see why you can't have it. But a lot of other rules probably do have actual, like real reasons behind it. Like, why do we have to walk in a straight line and be quiet in the hallway and walk single file? Like, why do we have to do that? That seems so like we're just trying to be controlling and like make you walk a certain way. But it's like, no, there's reasons behind it. There are other classrooms in the hallway that are trying to work, so we can't be loud. People walk from the other side coming towards us, so we walk on the right side so that we're not in their way. If there's an emergency, we need to know exactly who is in our line, and everyone needs to be organized so that we can listen and do what we need to do like immediately if there's an emergency. So there's like reasons for stuff. So I'm sure that some of the weird stuff in school, there's a reason. And then honestly, there's just a bunch of stuff that's just like people just do stuff out of tradition and then they don't ever change it, which is kind of dumb. Okay, here is cookie number 6, and I still don't feel sick at all. Like I was literally feeling like I was gonna throw up just from the like lack of water, and now like I don't feel bad at all. So there is something magic about these. Next question. When you guys walk around during a test, are you looking to see who's getting answers right? absolutely not. I'm literally walking around to see if anyone needs help. Like if I walk by them and they're just like sitting there, like not doing anything, I'm like, are you good? Like, do you need help? And that's pretty much it. Kind of looking to make sure that they're still working because we only have so much time. And so I want to be sure that you're like making progress. So I might be like, are you stuck on this? If so, maybe move on to the next one so we can make some progress. But I am literally not looking to see who's getting the answers right or wrong. I'm not really looking at your work unless you actually ask me a question about it. I'm literally just seeing, are they doing it? Like, do they look like they need help? Are they making progress? Sometimes I'm even just walking around because I just am gonna walk around and I'm sick of sitting at my desk. Okay, so I think this is cookie number 7, I think. And the question is, why do you have so many tabs open? This is so stupid because I used to hate having tabs open. I always made sure all of my tabs, like I had 1 or 2, and then I would close them because I hated it. I hated it, and I hated overflowing email inboxes and anything where there's just like too much. It's too much. But now I have like 20 tabs open on my screen right now. And you know why? Because there is too much stuff that I need to open all the time. And if I closed out of it when I was done with it, I would be opening it again the next day, 5 more times during the day, and it just makes sense to just leave it open because otherwise it's too much clicking around. It's just easier, it's simpler, I know where everything is, I can get to it fast. So yes, I have become one of those people and I'm embarrassed by it. Okay, so I finished my stack of cookies, which was like 7 cookies. So I'm gonna open this, and if he wants them back and doesn't want me to eat them, I will buy him new ones. But I'm gonna start eating them. So number 8, 7. I'm probably gonna regret this later. I only have a couple more questions because I need to leave. The next one is, what's so wrong about passing notes to classmates? It's not necessarily the fact that like it is a note that is being passed. It's just you're not focused, you're not listening, you are distracting another classmate, you are distracting whoever is passing the note for you. And as much as you might hate to hear it, school is to learn. Teachers are here to teach you the content that they need to teach you. So when you are not focused and not listening and doing other things that are showing that you are not focusing and paying attention, the teacher's probably going to get frustrated or just like shut it down. And yes, I am sure there are exceptions to this, that people are passing notes, but they are paying attention. You know, I remember passing notes in high school and stuff, and like I got pretty good grades. I didn't always, but also half the time like I wasn't listening and I wasn't paying attention. And I think it was right of those teachers to stop it when they found it or get frustrated. I don't think kids realize it's like we're a human being doing a job that we are paid to do, and like when we don't get that job done, like that reflects poorly on us. And we are up in front of a group of people for like 8 hours a day talking to them, and most of the time we're not being listened to and not being respected, and it just like really sucks to not see kids be engaged. I don't really have to deal with this that much, but that's probably why. This is my second to last question and maybe my second to last cookie. We will see. I think they're affecting me now. That might have been my last cookie. Still second to last question. What's your most I don't get paid enough moment? I'm just gonna say a couple things. Basically, the context is that I was working insane amount of hours to get the work done that needed to get done. And I'm like, I do not get paid enough for this. I am working, 12 hours a day just being at school to be ready for the next day. Like I get paid $40,000 a year. That's nothing. That is nothing. The other situation is not one where I was like constantly like, I don't get paid enough for this, but thinking about how I felt day in and day out during this time is like, I don't get paid enough for this. Basically, just like when I had a group of students who really just bullied me every single day in the classroom and blamed it on me. And that was really difficult. Every single day for months, just being constantly torn down and yelled at, and kids getting angry at me for things that are very, very normal for a teacher to do, like ask you to do your work or ask you to not be inappropriate, ask you to be kinder, things like that. And it was very, very hard, and I cried a lot, and it didn't make me want to quit my job, but it made it very, very difficult to go to school every single day. That is probably the other I do not get paid enough for this moment. What's the reason behind having to write down how I come to answers in math? So that we know that you know what you're doing. I'm not teaching math so that you just get a right answer. I'm teaching math so you can think mathematically and know how to problem solve and like solve the math problems. So when you don't write your work, one, I have no idea how you're getting there. I'm not saying you're cheating, but it could just be a guess. It could just be something that you are doing and you just happen to get the right answer, but there's a mistake in your method. And then also it's like if a kid just doesn't get the right answer, but all of their work is almost correct, then I can encourage them and be like, hey, you got this down, you just made a mistake with this one thing in the problem. Being able to show and explain your thinking is a huge goal of learning math. So for me to know that I've taught you how to think mathematically, I need to see your thinking. Last question, is teaching worth it? I think so. I know I've only been teaching for like 2.5 years. I go to school every single day and I love it, and I leave wanting to come back the next day. I love being at school. I love hanging out with my kids. I love talking about math and reading and writing's all right. I love doing science, and I love teaching kids about themselves and helping them grow into better human beings and leaders and helping kids with problems. And I know that a lot of people, it's like teaching's a job just like any job, and whatever job you have in life, yes, it's there to make you money, basically. But I feel like who I am lines up so perfectly with my job, and I love it so much. For me, it's worth it because I love it. If I did not love my job, this would not be worth it. Like I said, we do not get paid very well at all, and it is so much work. Like I come to school like an hour and a half before school every day, and I'm here for like several hours after school every day. And I know it's because I'm a new teacher, but at the same time, like, again, I do not get paid enough for this, and if I did not love it, it would not be worth it at all. It is not worth the work or the time or the money or all the stuff you have to deal with emotionally and physically from students and parents and admin and just all the stuff you have to deal with. If you do not love this and it does not line up with who you are and what you like to do, it's not worth it. But for me, it is. And on that note, I'm going to end this. I think that I ate about 10 or 11 cookies. I will count when I rewatch this. Kind of proud of myself. I don't know why I did that. Why did I do this? I probably just ruined my night because I'm going to be sick now. Thank you for watching. This was fun. If you have any more questions for teachers, hit me up, slide into my DMs, leave me a comment, and I will maybe do another one of these sometimes because it's fun. It's fun for me. Maybe next time I will try to order some beast burgers, which I just found out were a thing the other day, so I might do that and try them. But anyway, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. I am going to run by Hobby Lobby and buy a baseball cap because I'm going to embroider something on it for Hat Day tomorrow. I'm going to make a hat that says Lexia is for the cool kids, and we'll see which of my kids actually read my hat. So anyway, I'm going to go. Thanks again for watching. Bye.